Boy oh boy guys, it feels like forever since I've made a video regarding some positive news in the Call of Duty franchise. Now you guys saw the title, XDefiant might force Call of Duty to nerf skill-based matchmaking, and no, your eyes are not deceiving you. There's actually a rumor swirling around currently that skill-based matchmaking will be heavily toned down in the upcoming Black Ops 6. Now before I get into the whole tweet thread covering this rumor, I just want to make one thing perfectly clear and kind of double down on something I've talked about previously regarding XDefiant. So I've said before in the past that competition stirs change, right? You have a game like XDefiant that has completely removed skill-based matchmaking, and they've been successful in leeching off a lot of the players from Call of Duty multiplayer. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't a Call of Duty killer. XDefiant didn't sit here and completely smoke Call of Duty. Call of Duty is still the top dog, still the best FPS in terms of players. Now I say in terms of players, I don't think it's the best FPS game, but XDefiant removing SBMM has leached a healthy amount of players off of Call of Duty. And this is what I'm saying when I talk about competition stirring change. If you have an alternative to go to like XDefiant where you could just kind of screw around after work or school, play with an off-meta class setup, and still do relatively well, and the game isn't punishing you or rigging your outcomes, this is actually a great experience for a lot of people, and a lot of old COD players and new COD players that are tired with the egregious algorithms we have in current modern day Call of Duty have switched over to XDefiant. Now I know the whole longevity of XDefiant is yet to be seen. We don't know how long this entire hype train is going to last because we've seen this countless times with games, right? A game releases, it comes out, it has a ton of players. An example I like to use is the finals. I think they had like 100,000 concurrent players, 200,000. Now they're down to like 10 or 11,000. So the longevity of XDefiant has yet to be seen. But currently the general consensus regarding XDefiant is that it's a fun arcade shooter, and it's what people have been longing for a long time. Most importantly, it is a direct competitor to Call of Duty and an alternative people can turn to instead of having to play egregious SBMM warfare. On top of that, the icing on the cake for most people is that this game is free to play, so it has mass appeal. You can download it, you don't have to spend any money in the game. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, of course, this isn't just all talk. The player numbers and the actual concurrent player counts have came out, and the proof's in the pudding right here. So I'll just read this tweet real quick. It says, XDefiant is really good, no question. Numbers don't lie, but I believe the staying power is where it counts. And I completely agree with that. I just finished saying that in the earlier segment of the video. In its first week, XDefiant achieved 7.6 million unique players and has hit a concurrent player count of around 700,000 across all platforms. Now, I need to really reiterate the 700,000 across all platforms because we all got to remember that XDefiant isn't on old gen consoles. So this 700,000 concurrent player figure actually becomes more impressive when you realize that the concurrent player count only consists of PC, current gen Xbox, and current gen PlayStation. The amount of players they're missing out on by not including this game on the older gen consoles like Call of Duty does is astronomical. Imagine if they made this game for the PS4 and the Xbox One. I guarantee you would siphon another 200,000 to 300,000 players. You'd probably be close to 1 million concurrent players across all platforms, if you're asking me. And there's proof to back this up. I was reading something by Sony that they released the other day, and that's the fact that a slight majority of the players playing on PlayStation are still on PS4. So I think it was like 46.5 million on the PS4 and 46.1 million on the PS5. So you're missing out on a large chunk of the players there. And XDefiant really dropped the ball when it came to not dropping it on old gen consoles. Now, I'm not the type of person that really wants it on old gen consoles, but XDefiant doesn't look like some technical marvel by any means. So I don't really think by releasing it on the older gen consoles, you're really going to be hurting the game from a design perspective, but that's just me. However, besides that, let's get to the creme de la creme of the video. Let's get to the tweet thread covering this supposed Black Ops 6 SBMM rumor here. Now, before I read this, I just want to make it perfectly clear that I did see this tweet thread off of Blame Truth's video, so shout out to Blame Truth. But with that out of the way, let's get straight into it. So there's a tweet thread here, and this is Crash FTY. He's just talking about how Call of Duty Black Ops 6 will be available day one on Xbox Game Pass. Then there's a few other responses here, and one of the ones that really stood out to me was Kyrick777 here that said, the only problem is just fucking SBMM. I hope they're gonna delete it. Crash FTY actually responded by saying, I heard something about the SBMM of Black Ops 6 being somewhat softer. It was also replied down here further in the thread, is it reliable? And Crash FTY says it's not just a rumor. Now, I want to make one thing perfectly clear with this whole thing is that I'm not really sure how reliable Crash FTY is. Never heard of this guy, never heard of him in the leaking community. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe someone can shed some light on that. Maybe he does have some clout or reliability to him, but I don't really know what is going on. And really, anybody can buy a blue check mark on Twitter and claim that they heard this and this. The source kind of just seems to be trust me, bro. So I don't really know what's going on here. But if this information is true, the competition of XDefiant has actually made Call of Duty consider turning down their SBMM. And this is great for people that are fans of Call of Duty, because I've stated this before, Black Ops 6 is going to be developed by Treyarch. Black Ops 6 from a design perspective is going to be a fantastic game. I can tell you that. I have all the faith in the world for Call of Duty and Treyarch to make a decent game when it comes to Treyarch developing it. But the issue always ends up being that eomm rigging and skill-based matchmaking will be in the game. And as long as that is there, the game won't be good because your entire experience is going to be manipulated. So if this is true, then it's a very good thing that XDefiant exists. Now, it's really important to note that we as a community need to keep the pressure on Call of Duty. You need to keep supporting XDefiant. If you play this game regularly, keep playing this game, because if you all jump ship to Black Ops 6 once it comes out, it might release with a lower SBMM algorithm. It might be true. They might actually say, okay, we're going to turn it down because we see the hype that XDefiant is bringing. We know that our multiplayer community wants a lower skill-based matchmaking or no SBMM in their game. And then everybody jumps ship to Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And you got to remember that Activision isn't here for you to have fun. They are here to get your money. So either A, buy an Xbox Game Pass subscription and try the game out for a month and see if the skill-based matchmaking is removed. Do not pre-order this game and don't spend $70 on this game, because if we've learned anything about these skill-based matchmaking algorithms, if you remember back to the whole SBMM talk that Activision had regarding the whole skill-based matchmaking thing in Call of Duty, they said that they've done tests with no SBMM in the game and it made players leave. So this statement in itself proves that this is literally a switch that they can flip in the game. If you jump ship to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 come November or October, whenever it's coming out, if you jump ship to Black Ops 6 and you're having a good time and you think the game is fun and XDefiant ends up losing a lot of players and everybody's over on Call of Duty having a good time again, all it takes is one flip of a switch and Activision can fuck the entire thing up again. So we need to remember that we got to keep the pressure on Call of Duty. We got to keep supporting XDefiant. If you enjoy the game, keep playing it, because right now, currently how it stands right now with Modern Warfare 3 and Call of Duty, that game is a lost cause. Black Ops 6 will be the determining factor on whether or not this series succeeds for the high skilled players. Call of Duty will always be popular, and these people that play in the skill-based matchmaking brackets that are protected are always going to have a great time because the eomm gives them a good time. Us good players that play the game and actually enjoy it and are actually good at the game don't have a good time because we're constantly being manipulated by the eomm and SBMM algorithms. Anyways, that's how I feel about the entire situation. Let me know how you guys feel in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you are new, and don't forget to turn that notification bell on so you never miss when I upload a video. And I catch everybody in the next one. Peace.
I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough.